I'm welcoming back Bill Treasurer. The premise of all Bill Treasurer's work is that the world needs more courageous leaders. He's written numerous books. The first one was Leaders Open Doors, and I love his new book, which is called A Leadership Kick in the Ass. Bill, thank you so much for coming back for one more time to talk to all of our viewers.
Great to be here.
So in my book, The Resiliency GPS, I coined a term called presilience, which is preemptive resilience. It means practicing resiliency skills now rather than when something happens, either challenge or opportunity. And you have a very different focus on this. You talk about, how do I cultivate skill right now so that maybe I don't have to have a butt kick in the first place, as your new book says? What is it that what actions could leaders do to prevent that from happening?
Well, first of all, let me just say, what a great book this is with presilience in there, the Resiliency GPS. And it certainly was useful to me. And it's a terrific book. The idea of presilience is very important. And there are some things that you can do to lower the number of ass kicks that you'll get along the way and butt kicks that you'll get along the way in your career. But I wouldn't want to stop them altogether, because I think that what you'll find is, more than any leadership book, more than any leadership workshop, more than a coach or mentor, you will learn more from those butt kick moments, and they will be enduring lessons if you allow them to be. So on the one hand, there are some things you can do to reduce the number, and that's good, or to reduce the intensity of those butt kicks. But I wouldn't want to take all of them away, because they can be great learning events. One thing that you can do, and this is timeless. This goes back to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and the 1 Minute Manager and the Leadership Challenge, and all the great leadership books that we know talk about the importance of principles and values. Identify your core values. Identify what you stand for and what you stand against. What are your priorities? What are your values? What are your principles that you hold really, really deeply? Because that should be the source of your decision making. That should be the source of your behavior. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't really know what they are. They haven't contemplated them. They haven't written them out. So I think it's a really useful exercise to write down, what values do you hold most dear that you will always abide by and do your best to embody and uphold. That's sort of the one thing that you can do to ensure that you will reduce your number of butt kicks that you'll have along the way.
Because you're consistent and you're on, you stick on that path so people know what to expect of you. There's no surprises, because this is, I think
too, it gives you perspective. It's so that when you do have an occasional butt kick, you realize, okay, I'm doing the best I can. I'm still living according to my principles. Yeah, this stings, but it's not going to shatter me as a human being. Because I have a longer term view and I live by a set of principles that are not wishy-washy according to which way the wind blows. And I think that from that standpoint, it puts failure into perspective. In fact, a good friend of mine who's been on the top of Mount Everest 7 times, all without supplemental oxygen, is the greatest American mountaineer, Ed Viesturs. And Ed told me, and he'll tell others, he says that when he didn't make it the first 2 times, he's had more non-summits than summits. But what he'll tell you is he never looks at it like a failure. He looks at it like a non-success that teaches me a lot of information to help me get to the successful outcome.
So I've got one other question. What do you do when they, and I'll put it in quotes, leaders, because I don't think this is leadership behavior, but they have the title, where if someone, quote, goes to give them a kick in the butt, they get fired?
Well, are you suggesting if you went to your boss to give your boss a kick in the butt and then you get fired?
Said, you're pardon me, but you're fired.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, the most important thing, and I think you probably would agree with this, having read your works, is, can you look at the man or woman in the mirror and be proud of who you're looking at? To me, that becomes much more important. Everybody's got a story, and many of the stories have down moments in the story. My friend, the coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Clint Hurdle, said that he's learned that there's 2 types of leaders: those who have been humbled and those who are about to be. So Anybody worth their salt is going to have these down moments. And in fact, if I got fired for living according to a set of principles where I gave feedback to a boss that needed to hear it and they fired me, I should wear that as a little merit badge and carry that with me and help me become a stronger individual in my career because of it.
I love that. You know what that saying, the only thing to allow evil to exist is for good people to do nothing. And the only thing that allows bad leaders to exist is for good people to do nothing. If you come from that place of integrity and value, which you do, Bill, thank you so much. Loved speaking.
Eileen, it's so great to be with you. And thanks for the Energizer moments. You energize me as you always do.
Good. All right. Take care, my friend.
Thanks.